Good morning everyone, it's Libby from Meister Tarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Warramai First Nations people and I'd love to welcome you, your spirit guides and my spirit guides here with us today. New pot plant in the background, the cat's asleep on the bed. I'm in the bedroom again because it's a public day of mourning today for the passing of Queen Elizabeth, so everybody is home and floating around the house. Right, what a 24 hours. Now, it's depending on what side you're on, it's 24 hours of extreme highs and extreme lows. So I did have an entire page of things I was going to look at today, but turn the page and we're down to just two. The two major stories that came out overnight. Supposed Vladimir Putin, I'll have a look at that again because a lot of readers are saying no, he's not dead, no, it's not a body double, and they are reputable readers, so I trust my guides, I trust my readings, but I will have another look because I need the reassurance. Has declared Russian conscription, has declared that Russia is in a state of war, etc., etc., hinted at the threat of nuclear weapons, and interesting out of that, the demand for air flights out of Russia has absolutely skyrocketed through the roof. So he's not supported, this decision is not supported. I will see whether it's Putin or not, or whether it's coming from a power struggle within the Kremlin between the Minister of Defence and the Chief of Staff, both generals. However, the big news is that Letitia James has formally charged Trump Organisation, Junior, Ivanka and Eric, along with Weiselberg and one other of the accountants, for financial filings fraud or something of that effect. What it basically means, it is a civil case, but what it basically means, billions of fraud, and I believe there's several hundred incidences of this fraudulent activity. And what it is, it's they file financial valuations or something on properties each year or assets each year, and those filings are used by lenders and insurers. So as Bo of the Fifth Column put it perfectly, is that it's the same as, say, I earn, which I don't because this is a free channel, this is my gift to you. Me earning $60,000 a year but going to the bank for a loan and saying I earn $150,000 a year and providing documentation saying that I earn $150,000 a year. That is fraud, straight out, no arguments entered into. It is a civil case. The penalties they are demanding is $250 million, I believe, in penalties, plus the prevention of Trump Org and any of the others named to be able to hold any position in New York again. So basically they will be thrown out of New York completely. It is a civil case. It's not the case that's going to take Trump down, but it is the case that will lay the foundation for the IRS. So let us have a look and see how this particular case will go. I'll tackle Russia in depth in a minute and all those other items if there are no... I mean, we knew it was going to be a big week, didn't we? I'd said it, you'd said it, we all knew it was going to be a big week in many ways. So let's have a look. Ooh, what didn't want to go back in there? What didn't want to go back in there to start with is these two cards. The absolute thumping over the head and unexpected bombshells to come forward, and then at the base we have defending himself. Okay, but we'll have a look. I'm actually a bit warm this morning. It's almost like winter's trying to have a last gasp. Absolutely filthy weather out there today, but it's not actually cold. So I might have to get changed after this into something a bit cooler. Okay, Tommy. What was that turned over? Ooh. So it is a culmination culmination of the agreements entered into and all the lying in regards to it. At the base, it's almost like the cards are just telling the story without even me throwing them. At the base is this deceit, betrayal, sabotage, wounded and defeated, and the lawmaker. This is Letitia James. So as usual, the cards are telling me the story as I shuffle, and then we'll get the full gist at the end. Okay, tell me how this State Department New York civil case against Trump for financial filing fraud is going to go. Tell me about this. How is it going to go from the point of view? Whose point of view shall we look at it from? Trump's point of view. From Donald Trump's point of view, the New York civil case for fraud from Trump. How's it going to go for Trump? How's it going to go for Trump? How's it going to go for Trump? Just fell out. I don't know whether I need to go any further. How's it going to go for Trump? How's it going to go? But we will. How's it going to go for Trump? Because we like to get the whole story. Well, that was a bit of a burble to start with, wasn't it? Okay, I'll just shut that so hopefully not quite so much. No, it's still going to glare on me. Here we go. Okay. You all know what this means. Heartbreak, despair, loss, betrayal. And I've always said this figure at the bottom, even though he's dark-haired, he's got the look of Trump about him, with that belly on him, crossed by information coming forward regarding the money. Can't be any more clearer than that. What have we got at the base? Money again, trying to hold the cards close to the chest in regards to money, trying to hang on to money, insecurity in regards to money. So this was the foundation of why he did what he did. He likes to claim he's wealthy. He's like to claim that he's an astute businessman and his wealth is going up every year when it's not. It's all about trying desperately, insecurity in regards to money. The lies. Not surprised this has come up, but this is in the past. This is a case about the lies that have gone on already. So it isn't lies going into the future. This is the lies that have already been. And she has her information. Oh, if anyone's on Truth Social, let me know what he's saying. What I have heard along the grapevine is that he's claiming it's a witch hunt and it's politically motivated. Okay, we have victory, riding in victory. Okay, I did ask from Trump's point of view. He still thinks he can win this for some reason. Okay, immediate future. Bringing forth of the money situation. Externally, he's going to find himself severely restricted. I mean, 250 million isn't a penny to come up with, even for the likes of Trump and Trump Org. That would basically be all the grifting that he's done in the last 3 months. But yeah, externally he's going to find himself restricted. I don't think it's going to be jail. I just think he's going to find the truth is just circling him. He's a rat in the corner at the moment. Internally, it's all about the family. He's trying to give this illusion, this emotional. Okay, he's trying to create an emotional illusion that it's all about picking on his family. Hopes and fears, the truth coming out. There's just no other. The hope for us is that the truth will come out. The fear for him is that the truth will come out. And the outcome, well, again, doesn't need any explanation. He's going to lose this. And it is, as I said, setting a foundation for the IRS. He's going to find himself out in the cold financially. It is about corruption, moral corruption. There is an offer that's going to be made that is distasteful, that he completely does not want. And I think what it is, okay, I've just been told that it's an admission of guilt is the offer that he's being made in regards to perhaps a lesser penalty. I'm not sure, I'll read a bit on that in a minute. It is burdensome, and here's Letitia. So the burden is on Letitia to prove this, but here we have an ending. The ending, foolishness in regards to his money that is going to be exposed, the giving and receiving, the grifting, the robbing Peter to pay Paul. This is what it's all about. I'm just going to have a quick look at that card. So this is not going to go well for Trump. He thinks he can win it, but he's not going to be able to. Okay, just tell me about this card. Is this an offer being made to Trump for a lesser penalty to plead guilty? Is this an offer for Trump to plead guilty? If he pleads guilty, I don't think he's capable, is he? It's in regards to, is this an offer made to Trump to plead guilty? Is this an offer being made to Trump in exchange for pleading guilty? There'll still be severe penalties if he does, but they won't be as severe, as in they probably from 250 million down to the 100 million perhaps. I don't know, I'm just pulling a figure out of my head. But it would still include the inability to work in New York. But is this an offer being made to Trump in exchange of pleading guilty? Well, here we have the seedy underbelly being exposed. It's the moon card. It is a yes card. But he's finding himself just hemmed in. It is about guardrails as well. Some of the other guides, some of the other readers read it as, but it's just literally hemmed in by all the messaging that's coming forward in regards to his shuffling of the money. And here we have the messenger bringing forward and the destitution. Even though I shuffled and these are coming out in a different order, it's the same cards over and over. And here he is. He's finding it extremely anxious. And on the base we have this dude again and this dude again. So I don't think he's going to. I don't think he is capable of pleading guilty. And so this offer is going to be made, and I suspect it is going to be rejected with the usual witch hunt and political, and they're all after me, and etc. etc. But it's going to come out. He's going to find himself really hemmed in. It's all about the two sets of books. There is somebody who is informing. Now remember, Deutsche Bank came forward. This is going back 6-12 months. Deutsche Bank came forward with documents and information. Weiselberg's come forward and been cooperating as well. So you have all these parties coming forward and bringing this information. Despair, loss, misery. It was him desperately trying to hang on to it's ego. It's all ego. And he's not sleeping at night. And then we had on the base, it's causing a lot of anxiety for him and his children, because if Ivanka and Junior and Eric, they all have to all sell up and move out, and companies that they own in New York as well, because one of the provisos of the penalties is that a cancellation of the corporate certificates on companies. I do not pretend to understand US company law. Australia is bad enough, but it basically means that none of them can own or be directors of companies in New York, in the state of New York. But yeah, again, we have this despair, loss, and it's relating to the betrayal literally the picking up of the truth and stealing it. So, and others walking away, and the others that are walking away are Deutsche Bank and Weiselberg. I'll just have a look at pendulum. Cat's, what is it, we're at nearly 11 o'clock in the morning and the cat's still in bed. Lucky little bugger. Okay. May I ask a question, please? May I ask a question, please? I like to have my finger in the shot so you can see I'm not deliberately moving it. If it is moving, it's just my normal shakes. I'm not a surgeon. My normal shakes, it's as I breathe. Okay, may I ask a question, please? May I ask a question, please? Is this setting the stage? It's answering already because it knows what question I want. Is this setting the stage for the IRS takedown? Is this setting the stage, setting the foundation for the IRS? I am absolutely roasting. I am going to just pause this and I'm going to get changed. Hang on a sec. That's better. Sorry about that. It's an absolutely miserable day. We are still in very, very early spring and it feels like it should be cold because it's so miserable. And we even had rain that sounded like hail, but it's as muggy as anything. Okay, let's have a look. Oops, still got my track pants on, which are making my singlet top squizzle up. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, may I ask a question, please? That's better. May I ask a question, please? Oh, it's telling me yes without even saying, can I ask a question? Because I was already halfway there. Is this setting a foundation for the IRS? Is this setting a foundation for the IRS? And that's a yes, definitely. Okay, may I ask a question, please? May I ask a question? Is this civil case brought by Letitia James going to be successful? Is this civil case brought by Letitia James going to be successful? Is this civil case brought by Letitia James is determined just to go in a circle in regards to this? Will Trump get away with financial filings fraud? Will Trump get away with Okay, now it's saying no. I think that Letitia James question was probably a little bit vague. I mean, it depends on the definition of successful, doesn't it? Okay, right, I'm going to move on to Russia. It's the other big story of the day. I really want to have a look. Really, again, want to have a look. I'm going to use the Rider-Waite deck, my little tiny deck, because there is no mistaking the Rider-Waite. It's just the original. Okay, a lot of anxiety going on. It's a tiny little deck, but tricky to shuffle. We'll give it a go. Is Putin still alive? Is Putin physically alive? Is Putin still physically alive? Is Putin still physically... Oh, what's flipped over there? If he is, he's on his way out. Is Putin physically alive? Is Putin physically alive? Suspension and plans going forward. If he is Putin physically alive? Yes or no, please? Yes or no? Yes or no, please? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Is Putin physically alive? Right, let's have a look. Tiny little cards, these ones. Wow, okay. Right, if you have a look, the whole deck is up the right way, except for that one card that's come out upside down. The foundation is it's not there anymore. There is no foundation to this. I mean, you've got the tomb here. You've got the tomb, the independence, living gilded cage, and playing their cards close to their chest. Things are going to come out very quickly. Star of Hope. And investigation, introspection, isolation. If he is, he's literally on his... I keep getting it. I'll ask again. I'll ask again. Let's see how the energies... I haven't got a candle today. I do apologise for that. Okay. May I ask a question, please? May I ask a question, please? May I ask a question, please? Thank you. Is the Putin we see on the media a body double, even for the 7-minute speech? And that's a yes. It's a yes again. Is Putin... Okay, may I ask a question, please? May I ask a question, please? Thank you. Is Putin still alive? Is Putin still alive? And I'm getting a no. Okay. I think I'll be doing that nearly every day until I get we get confirmation, official confirmation. I'm not feeling it. I apologise to other readers that are insistent that he is still alive, that it is Putin, it's not a body double, but every day, I'm getting the same answer over and over. So what I want to have a look at is there are two major contenders that I could see. There was Sergei Shoigu, pronounced that completely wrong, Minister of Defence, Valery Gerasimov, who's the Chief of Staff, someone's pulling the strings behind the scene is what I'm getting, and it's Putin. Okay, I'm just going to ask, tell me about Putin, because these readers that are saying, oh no, he's still alive, no, it's not a body double, they are readers that I respect and look up to. They are my mentors, but I'm just not, okay, what fell out is not Putin, it is someone very high up in the lawmaking, working behind the scenes. It's just, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm reading I can't go past what Pendulum is saying to me. It's been saying, they're answering those two questions exactly the same, and I deliberately word them so that they're not just yes and it's swinging yes and then it's a yes again. I deliberately word them so that Pendulum has to change direction to answer the second question, and it does every single time. So tell me about Putin, tell me about Putin, tell me about Putin, tell me about Putin, tell me about Putin. There is something emotionally being offered here. I think this is, what I'm getting is that he's been handed the cup of passing and he's passed, is what I'm getting from those. He's moved on. In the past, emotionally overwhelming. We've got the restriction of the family here. If you hear my dogs barking, it's my daughter's got some friends coming over. Transformation. They're all looking like spirit passing on. Okay, there is information going to come out in regards to this. Someone's going to let it out externally, heartbreak and loss. Internally, a false night bringing forward a message. Again, another message coming forward in regards to health. Betrayal, sabotage, a difficult alliance, a difficult partnership, a difficult decision. Lots of information coming out. And we had the gilded cage again, and we have the Four of Pentacles again, and we have death. I can't argue with pendulum and cards. I'm just really getting that he is no longer of this world, but they're keeping it secret. And I think I read that 4 or 5 months ago. That would happen. It would be quite a while before we actually found out that he was no longer. Okay, I'm going to have a look at these conscription laws. I had a look yesterday at the so-called referendum. Got some, how the hell are you supposed to have a balloted referendum in the middle of a war zone? It's just how ridiculous. And I think what it is, okay, thank you. I did watch Bo, the fifth column, this morning in regards to this, and my guides are just simply saying, confirming one aspect of what Bo said, is that if they do this referendum and the vote goes to join Russia, which it will, I mean, God, Russia wouldn't be holding it unless it was going to come out favourable for them. It's not true. The result won't be accurate, but it's not true. If it gets to that stage, and then they can claim that Ukraine has invaded Russia, and that is the whole purpose of those referendums, because Ukraine are in those four territories, areas, locations, whatever you like to call them. Will this referendum? Oh, here they are. Expect the dogs to go off any minute. Okay, will this referendum... Yeah, I hear you. Won't be long. Will this referendum go forward? Let's have a quick look. No, well, it's a yes, but it's a battle between good and evil over what is right. And it will be exposed for what it is. There will be a claim of victory, there will be celebration, but it is all this devil energy. It's all this devil energy, and there's a lot of information going to come forward very quickly in regards to this, and there will be full illumination. So what have I got? 1, 2, 3 major arcana. But yeah, it is indicating that it is going to go ahead. We've got investigation at the bottom, making of a plan, working behind the scenes, the mercenary, but then we have investigation. Okay, I'm going to ask Pendulum a question. Just bear with me for a moment. You're looking at my belly there. Okay. Ask a question, please. Ask a question. I think I'll just bring you up ever so slightly. He wants a slightly longer chain. Okay. May I ask a question, please? May I ask a question? Thank you. Will these referendums go ahead? I'm getting a no. I was expecting a yes. I'm getting a no. Well, I won't read any further on this. I'm just there's something in play here, and perhaps in the international scene, that this referendum is not going to go ahead, and I've got the Hermit and the Hierophant, the government in isolation, perhaps. Just going to have a look at the conscription, and then that will do me for the day. Will the Russian people, tell me about this conscription in Russia, will the Russian people stand for it? It can't really come into play or at this stage for several months, even if it goes ahead, because they need training up, they need arms. They don't have arms. They don't have arms to give to the soldiers that are in the field. So how are they going to supply arms to these conscripts? It is literally, they will just be bodies on the ground, cannon fodder is what I'm hearing. And if you, it's an old terminology, cannon fodder. It's just literally throwing a mass of bodies into the fray. It's how wars were fought 150 years ago plus. You know, it was just those that had the most bodies won the war, because you know, if you shot one and you shot one, then the one that had the most ended up winning. It was just okay, tell me about this conscription. Will the Russian people stand for it? Tell me about this conscription. Will the Russian people stand for it? Tell me about this conscription. Will the Russian people stand for it? Tell me about this. It's dark. Does not want to go back in. So let's see what they tell us. Both of those, neither of those wanted to go back in. It is a position of a crossroads in regards to the domestic situation, but the health. The Russian people are at a crossroads where they have to choose about which path they take. Do they take this path towards the light, or do they take the path towards the dark? It's very much what this path is about, and it is being discussed over the kitchen tables. The mothers of Russia, the fathers of Russia, do not want to send their sons into this. They know that it is a failed war, and that the chance of being killed by the Ukrainians is far greater than anything that can be done to them in Russia itself. So it's been discussed, and I think because the light is so powerful in this particular card, that they are going to choose the way of the light. I don't think the Russian people are going to stand for it. We have the world card. The world is watching on, for starters, but it is also about a unity, a coming together, a culmination. Okay, challenged by circles of support. Circles of support and celebrating this abundance. Now that's not a card you're going to get when you're conscripted. So I think there's going to be, I'll just ask before I continue. Trust me that my finger is staying still. Ask a question, please. Ask a question, please. Thank you. Will there be mass protests in Russia regarding this? Will there be mass protests in Russia regarding conscription? Will there be mass protests in Russia regarding this conscription? Will there be protests in Russia regarding this conscription? Got to be careful how you word it. Will there be protests? I'm getting yeah, it's gaining momentum. It's only little. I mean, boy, you have to be brave, don't you, to protest against something like this in Russia. Base of the reading is loss, disappointment, great loss, loss of life. I mean, you look at this, these 2 cups have been spilt already, and all these bodies have purged out of it. These are the Russian losses already. And then you have these other cups, and this is a very emotional question for the people of Russia. And then you have these 3 other cups with live people in them, and they are desperate not not to be tipped over and flooded away. And they are being tipped over by this almost indolent, corrupting creature. When I say corrupting, I mean as in desiccating, rotting creature. So, okay, thank you. What I'm getting is this is the head of the figure that is just idly tipping these cups over as if it's of no consequence, is the rotting head of the Russian government at the base. Pardon me, I don't know if there's any other way to put that. In the past, Queen of Swords, this is about wisdom coming forth, truth coming forth. The truth is out there, and it is the mothers that know the truth and bringing forward this truth of what is actually happening. They're the ones that are losing the sons for just a plaything for the Russian head. They are extending a hand of peace. You've got the eagle overhead, which means, to me, that's the backing of the powerful Western world overhead. The truth being coming forward. Crowning the reading, the Six of Pentacles, the giving and receiving of help. Okay, thank you. I think what's going to happen is that these external forces are going to help those internally within Russia. This is, again, domestic. Pentacles are about domestic security, but they're also about health, wealth, Mother Earth, and protection. Very much about protection. So I think what's going to happen is the external world is going to bring protection of some assistance to these protesters. Immediate future, the High Priestess. Wow, this is the first time I've noticed this. If you have a look in the background, I don't know if you can see it on the camera there, the shadow of the bison. I have drawn this card so often, and it's the first time I have ever known the might of that bison in the background, the strength and power that it is bringing to this High Priestess, who has something has not been yet revealed in regards to this. It is also an engagement with your spirituality, but we do not, everything is not seen as of yet. Externally, Nine of Wands, feeling embattled and having to set boundaries. The messaging is going to set boundaries internally. Oh, I love this card when I'm talking about Russia. It seems to come up just about every time. The Ukrainian sunflowers. Look at the force from that youth. It is the youth that is saying no more. They're bringing a message of, I am not going to go and die for your pointless and petty egos. Okay, hopes and fears, judgment, an inevitable ending, a call to arms, an uprising against the government, an uprising, and it will come from the youth. Okay. Coming together. Against this delusion, the fates are turning. We've got the independence here and strength, the strength of the independence. And we have the Queen of Cups. She's going to bring forward something that is unexpected at this stage, but she is also about calm diplomacy, stable emotions, a stability. So she's going to bring forward a stability and temperance, moderation. I'm really getting a pull to the fact that, especially looking at these three female figures here, four female figures, five female cards. discounting this illusion, because they are going to come together against this. Now, it's not just an illusion, but it's also a choice, very much a choice card about what power, greed, wealth one is going to choose. It's about choices. Okay. Or innocence. Thank you, Meister. He's very good at prompting me nowadays. I love it. Early days he wasn't so vocal for me. So it is about coming together regarding the choice, making a choice. Not an easy choice, but making a choice in the shadow of all this offering of strength and castles and jewels and physical offerings, but it's about a choosing of innocence. The wheel is turning on this. This is bringing everything to a head. This is a turning point in regards to this. It is about the keep retaining independence. And to be honest, the youth of Russia, they have enjoyed a life of McDonald's and motor vehicles and Levi jeans and Pierre Cardin and you name it. They have enjoyed this life, and they're seeing it taken away from them because of the ego of these leaders. We've got strength. I love strength. Stabilization, calm, or a calm leader. Okay, thank you. There is a woman that's going to come forward to lead us, and I've always said that there will be a woman coming forward. I've seen it as Yulia Navalny, but there may be someone in the interim. She's going to be their voice, their diplomacy, and then a return to temperance. On the base we have Major Arcana, the Fool, stepping out with faith and hope in a new start. The Sun, joy, full illumination, Boudica card. And then we have lost, disappointment, crossroads, King of Pentacles, Tower. These are the oligarchs, these are the Russian leaders. And it is a crossroads moment for them as the youth of Russia, backed by the mothers, brings forward this energy. They're going to find themselves in this situation at this crossroads, and it is going to be their undoing. Okay. Boy, I hope I'm reading the cards right. I really do. Some of that may be personal wish, but if I just take my mind out of it and read the cards as they fall, then I am seeing that this is really a major crossroads point for Russia, and I see it as the bringing down of the leadership. Okay, thank you for joining me today. Oh boy, now that's not going to these cards going forward is not going to minimise the loss and death and the what the people of Russia and the people of Ukraine are going to go through until they play. Just my heart goes out to them. This has just been such an important soul lesson for the whole of the world, this particular conflict, as has the Trump situation. We humans don't seem to, as a total, we don't seem to learn the lessons until we really get smacked in the face. And climate change is another one that's doing such to us at the moment. There are so many fronts that we are being challenged by at the moment. However, it is of humanity's beginning. New beginning, sorry, that was a Freudian slip, but it probably wasn't. This is humanity's new beginning. and we have to rise to the challenge. But don't take on more than you can. Do what you can, but don't expect you to do any more. One of the most important things if you're in the US is to go out and vote. If you're in the UK, care for your community and your family. And if you are in a situation, I read something the other day of a gentleman in Puerto Rico whose power had been restored after Hurricane Fiona, and he said he was driving to work and he noticed that his neighbours still didn't have power. Well, and he continued drive. He's like, oh, mutter, mutter. Well, stop and offer those neighbours who might be a street over, offer them water, food, shelter, whatever you can. It is what is happening is humanity is at a stage where we're at a crossroads, where we can either come together or we can stay separate. So I'm going to encourage the coming together. Do what you can. Don't feel that you need to do more, but just know that I love you. Your spirit guides love you. Be in the light. Carry the positivity. Don't even enter any negativity. Just be who you want the world to become. Okay, thank you for joining me. Love you all. Take care. Look after yourselves. Bye-bye.